next recording. Next, who would like to read? Niharika, your internet is okay? Please read from 11.
Yes, sir. What is meant by management by exception? Management by exception is a policy by which management devotes its time to investigating only those situations in which actual results differ significantly from planned results. What is 360-degree feedback? 360-degree feedback or multi-source feedback is an appraisal or performance assessment tool that incorporates feedback from all who observe and are affected by the performance of a candidate. The results from 360-degree feedback are often used by the person receiving the feedback to plan training and development.
Mm.
What is meant by psychometric test?
Mm.
Psychometric test is a test that is designed to show someone's personality, mental ability, opinions, etc., often used by companies when they are deciding whether or not to employ someone.
Mm.
What is meant by interbank participation certificates? Interbank participation certificates is a short-term money market instrument whereby the banks can raise money or deploy short-term surplus. In the case of interbank participation certificates, the borrowing bank passes or sells on the loans and credit that it has in its for a temporary period to the lending bank.
Mm.
The RBI has allowed private and foreign banks to treat their investments in interbank participatory certificates issued by public sector banks as direct lending to the priority sector. In banking parlance, this arrangement is called interbank participation certificate.
Yeah, this question is of relevance for credit officers. From the angle of credit officers, it may be useful, interbank participation certificate, then in say investment in NABARD schemes in place of our what is that priority sector certificate. There is one certificate known as priority sector certificates where banks, instead of giving finance to priority sector, they purchase these certificates. Yeah,
Yes.
continue. Achha,
What
now
are
it is
priority
coming. Now it
yes.
is coming. Yeah.
What are priority sector lending certificates? Priority sector lending certificates is a tool for promoting comparative advantages among banks while they meet their priority sector lending obligations in India. The PSLC are used by banks that have overreached their priority sector lending targets to the extent of their over lending to the stipulated sectors and bought by those banks who could not meet their priority sector lending targets.
Acha, they will borrow, they will take it from another bank also. Okay. Continue. Continue up to 20, Niharika. Your internet is good. Continue.
Okay, sir. What is BPLR? Benchmark prime lending rate is the rate at which commercial banks charge their customers who are most creditworthy according to Reserve Bank of India. Banks can fix the BPLR with the approval of their boards. What is
Each
MCLR?
each of you who are going for credit officers program, you please try to know what is BPLR of your bank by going through that website. Niharika, did you check up what is BPLR of our Punjab National Bank?
No,
चेकअप
sir.
किया नहीं किया नहीं किया
No.
नहीं किया कोई बात नहीं कर लीजिए बात में कंटिन्यू.
Okay, sir. What is MCLR? Marginal cost of fund-based lending rate is the minimum lending rate below which a bank is not permitted to lend. MCLR replaced the earlier base rate system to determine the lending rates for commercial banks. RBI implemented MCLR on 1st April 2016 to determine rates of interest for loans.
Yeah, nowadays it is linked to MCLR only because it depends on the what is that repo rate. If the repo rate is raised, they will raise MCLR also. The effect of raising of repo rate is that if the repo rate is raised, cost of borrowal for the banks will go up. When that goes up, banks will borrow less from Reserve Bank. When they borrow less, not only less from Reserve Bank, similarly, customers also will borrow less from their commercial banks. So the money in circulation will come down, and that is expected to bring down the inflation. Incidentally, the current news is June 7th is the date on which RBI is going to have monetary policy committee meeting. It is expected that RBI may not tamper or touch the repo rates. It will remain as it is at 6.5%. 5%. Continue.
What is RLLR? Repo linked lending rate is an external benchmark where the RBI's repo rate is used by commercial banks to calculate the retail loan interest rate. RLLR of all banks comprises the prevailing repo rate, tenure premium, and preset spread or margin maintained for adequate revenue generation.
Yeah. In fact, this type of abbreviations are normally asked in IDBI bank because I don't know why they are very fond of that. They will ask questions like what is CASA, what is FARA, like that, what is difference between current account and savings account. So like that, what is NEFT, what is RTGS, what is CBS. Now, can I ask Nidhi? Nidhi, have you heard the term CBS in terms of banking? Nidhi. Nidhi, are you there? No. Nidhi is not there. Nidhi is not hearing us.
I'm here only, sir. I'm
Yes.
here only, sir.
Yeah. CBS का बारे में सुना है नहीं सुना है?
No, sir, I have not heard.
अच्छा,
CBS.
can anyone tell me what is that?
CBS.
CBS. C for Calcutta, B for Bombay, S for sugar. उसके लिए
Oh.
बैंकिंग में expansion क्या है?
But it is
Core banking systems.
Correct. Core banking
core
solution.
banking
solutions.
solution.
Oh,
Solution.
core banking solution.
Yeah.
Okay.
Core banking solution. Famous one is Infosys Finacle. I am not an agent of Infosys. Similarly, TCS Banks, BANCS. These two are famous. We have so many other, what is that? CBS solutions.
So
And,
TCS also.
TCS is banks, BANCS. BANCS, that they will write that B and A in differently. B capital, A small, N capital, C capital, S, something like that. TCS Banks is another famous. Then our there is one company in America. What is that? My nephew worked. Starting with the letter O. What is that?
Oracle.
Correct. Oracle. Oracle is also another software. Like that, so many core banking solutions are there. Very good. Now we will go to the next question. Nigarika, 19.
Okay, sir. What are the components in calculation of MCLR? MCLR is calculated internally by the bank on the basis of 4 components: marginal cost of funds, cash reserve ratio, tenor premium, and operating cost.
Continue.
What are special mention accounts? Special mention accounts are those assets or accounts that shows symptoms of bad asset quality in the first 90 days itself or before it being identified as NPA, but some special mention assets are identified on the basis of other factors that reflect sickness or irregularities in the account.
See, this is a very important subject for our credit officers. Special mention accounts 0 to 30, 31 to 60, 61 to 90. I think first one is called SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2. Once it crosses 90 days, see, when a loan installment, that is principal repayment or interest, is delayed beyond 90 days, then it is called as substandard, as it is classified as NPA. The moment it is classified as NPA, the bank has to provide. Provide means what? Once we know 100 rupees that we have given loan to, let us say, let us take it this way. Vijay Sai has given to me 100 rupees. And he comes to know that this SAR is not going to repay this money. Then instead of taking all that 100 rupees as a loss in the same year, he will reduce step by step. So under the rules, they say where an account is classified as substandard, all the loan accounts which have become NPA are known as gross NPA. That is why in many of the balance sheets you will find GNPA percentage. That means what is the amount of GNPA divided by total advances given by that bank into 100 is known as GNPA percentage. From that GNPA, banks are supposed to deduct provisions. Actually, for example, if an account is substandard account and it has got security, then they will provide 15% as provision. If an account is substandard and it is not having any security, they will provide 25. I want credit officers to check up about this clearly, what it is, so that you can tell me clearly tomorrow in the class. I am telling roughly. Once after this 1 year period is over, the account will be classified as doubtful assets. Once it is classified as doubtful assets, bank has to provide, say, if it is a secured advance, 25%. If it is an unsecured advance, 40%. That means extra. Now, they have already provided 25. This year, they will provide further 15. Then, if it is going to remain NPA for 2 years, third year, it will be classified as D2, doubtful 2. In which case, the percentage of provision has to increase. I think under the unsecured, it will become 100. And here it may become, say, 40% or so. Later on, third, if it is standing for 3 years, it is called as loss assets, in which case 100% provision will be made. Could you follow? So this is something which you have to know regarding NPA. What I have told you is not sufficient. We will read tomorrow something from that certified credit professional material. I have given you short notes. We will read from there. You can also read and come our credit officers people. Okay, very good. Then who can read now? Whose internet is very good?